Hey Nation, it's Kevin here from Canada. I'm an almost 20-year-old business student up at Ryerson University, and I feel like I'm in the situation that probably a good majority of you are in as well. I'm in the middle of my university career, and you're basically sitting here and you're deciding, well, what do you really want to do with your life? And I know that's a hard thing for a lot of us to answer, because how is anyone at our age, with our limited experience, supposed to really know where we want to go, what we want to do, and how we want to spend our time? And I really don't think that anyone really has the answer to that question. I know that there's always people around you who they seem like they really know what they want. They have high expectations. They seem like they have a direct path, but I think that even those people don't really know if their choices are 100% what they really want to do. So partly my story, and I think it's probably the story that goes for most of us, is you half-ass your way through high school, and you find out that you're better at some courses than you are at others. So you figure, okay, well, I'm going to apply for programs that are for those courses. For me, that was business. So you go into business, and you have high expectations of first year. You're very excited. It's all new experiences, and these new classes, new professors. It's just very overwhelming. You take it all in, you absorb it all. It's all so interesting. Maybe you had a hard time. Sure, it's a new experience. It's difficult. And that's how you justify if you don't do as well, if you weren't entirely sure if it was the right choice. Say, oh, it was just first year. Second year will be better. I'll be able to focus more, I'll be able to concentrate more, and I'll be able to further direct where I'm going with my life. So then second year comes around. And then, there comes a point, or at least for me, there came a point where I asked myself, yes, I'm in business, and I feel like that's where I belong, but what do I really want to do with my life? I'm taking all these courses, and I'm completely disinterested in them. And it's difficult for me because I know I like business, but I couldn't care less about any of the courses I'm enrolled in. They don't catch my interest. It's a burden to read them, and that makes me wonder, did I make the wrong choice? And, things on top of that didn't make that any easier is I decided to move out in second year. I live on campus, and I'm actually an RA. Some schools call it a Don. Same thing. And what that has done is it has exposed me to a lot of people who are very different from myself, who have different interests and different abilities. And introduced me to those things that I would have never experienced otherwise, and it really started to help. It really started to make me wonder if I was making the right decisions in life. I've always been a big fan of media and video and computers as well. I've always had strong interest in both of those things. And so I'm meeting people who just know so much, and everything they talk about in regards to that I find so interesting. And then, I say to myself, well, if I find this fascinating and I'm not comfortable and happy with where I am, then why don't I move to that? Why don't I go for that? But then you never really know if that is really what you want as well. It's not easy. And I think that's the dilemma that everyone faces. And a couple things scare me. One of the things that scare me is that what some people do is they'll go through 2, 3, even 4 years of university education, and then all of a sudden they'll change their mind and start all over, which on one hand is great if you know what you want, or you find what you want and it was the right choice for you. But on the other hand, it's that's 4 years of your life potentially that you kind of wasted, and it's a lot of money, and a lot of people don't have that option. So my biggest fear is that you go through school and you're never entirely certain if it's what you wanted. Then you get into your first decent paying job, and because of the security, you just stick with it. You don't do anything else, and then you never live out any of those things that you said you were going to do. Everyone says, oh, I'm going to go backpacking through Europe. And everyone says, oh, I'm going to travel, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And many of us don't actually do it. And that scares me, I'll be honest. It actually is very concerning. And, I don't know, it's just, the other thing that comes to mind as well, when it comes to all this and planning your future and justifying why you do the things you do, is, you only live once. And now I'm getting a little philosophical, and, this is territory that I'm not too familiar with, I guess. But you only live once, so it's almost like there's even more pressure to make sure you find out what you really want. And I'm just rambling now, clearly. But I just felt like sharing my thoughts and just explaining what I think. And another thing that came to mind just as I'm saying this is that, I think it really does relate to the same thing, how people believe that in marriage or in relationships there's that one special person. And I don't necessarily believe that. I believe that it's the life you make with someone you can genuinely care about. And I do feel like you could genuinely care about more than one person, because to think that there's only one person for you out there out of 6 billion people, I think that's just ridiculous. If that was the case, then none of us would ever be happy, because how are you possibly going to find that one special person? I probably think this is the same thing with your job and your career. I feel like the key is just to pursue your interests and pursue your desires. And I really do feel like things will just kind of work themselves out. And, as much as I say that, and it sounds reassuring if that's true, I still have my own doubts. I still wonder where I'm going, if the decisions I'm making are going to help me get there. And, it's just one big adventure, right? And the thing that I think helps get anyone through it is enjoying the little things along the way. And, it's not so much an end goal, but more experiencing the process. I feel like everyone's in this race to, as a student at least, you have to get that job so you can get good money, so you can buy a house, so you can buy a car. Well, think about this. Once you've done that, then what? Like, what do you have to work towards? And then by then you'd say, okay, well, I'll have kids and pay for their education, and then retire, and then what? You die. So, I believe there's more to life than that. I really do. And even though I don't have any of these answers to all these questions and concerns that I just talked about, I really want to try and take every opportunity I can to better myself and to not let any of those chances pass me by. And I really feel that if you don't see those chances in your life, that you should make them yourself. And if you can make them yourself, then you can always make yourself a better person. And regardless of whether you've decided on what you want, whether you've found what's right for you, as long as you know that you're being the best person that you can be, then I see no shame in that. Anyways, that's just what I thought. Thought I'd share where I feel like I'm at, and I wish you guys well. I wish you guys good luck in figuring it out for yourself. And this whole YouTube community, the ability for everyone just to kind of connect and share their perspective, it just absolutely amazes me. If any of you guys want to connect with me, chat about it, I think that'd be great. Send me a message and email back and forth. I think these are really good things to talk about. Peace out.